This is a very dangerous storm. I cannot stress that enough. A very dangerous storm. At bare minimum, we know this storm is rotating right near the Independence area, right around Highway 20. If we don't have the tornado threat either way, the severe weather threat is present. Pretty good indication of rotation right here, just north of Vinton, very close to the Vinton-Buchanan County lines. This again will be moving off to the north and east. For now, Vinton, you are in the clear. No issues for you in Vinton. That storm, though, will be heading into Buchanan County for the first time in 3,250 days, just shy of 9 years. The city of Cedar Rapids is now under a blizzard warning, and the city is getting ready. We're live right now at the City of Cedar Rapids Public Works Department. Right now what you're seeing is they're mixing sand and salt together to really fight the combination of bitter cold as well as accumulating snowfall. Very light and fluffy snow. The snow right now isn't the biggest concern. It's when the wind comes in later. That is when the concerns really begin to increase. Part of the issue is if you look at the snow that we have right now, it's very light and very fluffy. And so we're talking wind gusts topping near 50 miles per hour. That is going to be a big issue for those that attempt to travel. Your weekend planners, we go into the 4th of July. There's a slim chance for an afternoon shower or storm in eastern Iowa. I think for the most part, the area will be dry tomorrow. We got mid-80s for highs tomorrow into Sunday as well. But Monday, that is our trouble spot. The flooding this time of year is a bit unusual. When you look at all the floods that have happened in Independence by month, we've only had 2 in the month of September, and that was in 2016 and 2018. The Artemis 1 launch, it's of course grabbing a lot of attention due to the eventual future missions which will put astronauts back on the surface of the moon. But the science part of Artemis is just as big. Right now, the current temperature of the pavement is in the single digits. So as the snow begins to fall, it will accumulate rapidly on the surfaces. So the first thing you can do before you even leave the road is make sure you gas up your car. Make sure your gas tank is topped off. And if you're traveling long distance, make sure you frequently are filling up as you go as well. Now, if you do get stuck, one thing to add a little bit of traction, some kitty litter or something like that. It's a great way to give yourself a little extra traction if you're dealing with some ice or snow. The container you put it in, also pretty important. I had mine in the cardboard box. My roof ripped off and everything got wet, so that was ruined. So maybe what are some of the tips to have in your kit as well as to protect the kit from disasters themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. Use some type of a...
The live music kicks off at 7 o'clock as well. And of course, it's a great event for the entire family. I'm now joined by Mary Reddington of the Iowa City Public Library. A lot of events going on tomorrow for a lot of the kids. Kind of talk about some of those and why maybe the whole family should come on down here tomorrow.
Yes. So definitely the best.
I'm joined now by Jesse with the Economic Alliance in Cedar Rapids, the downtown district. Kind of a different kind of an event. How did this all kind of come together?
Right. So
the other issue we have this evening is the wind, especially in more open rural areas. The wind will take this freshly fallen snow and cause blowing and drifting. College Road, which flanks me here, is partially covered, but roads are moving along, our cars are moving along somewhat fine. Here at Broadcast Park, we've measured about half a foot of snow. You can see about 6 inches thus far, and that is pretty much on the higher end of our forecast that we had yesterday. Let's take a look at some of the snowfall reports across eastern Iowa. A lot of icicles on this. The windshield also coated in a pretty good layer of ice. And this is a pretty large system that expands across much of the entire country. By early tomorrow morning, cloudy, dry, and cool. No issues. Around noon, that's when the roads will likely start becoming slick. There will be blowing snow ongoing. In the evening commute is when we will really start feeling the effects of this storm. The vast majority of crashes that occur during snow, 74%, about every 3 and 4 that occur in snow, happen with 2 inches of snow or less. At 2 minutes and 12 seconds after launch, those solid rocket boosters, those side SRBs, will then separate or jettison from the main core stage of the rocket. And for the time being, things are quiet here in eastern Iowa. Live view over Iowa City, the frozen Iowa River there. But look at the current temperature. We're still above freezing at 36 degrees, northwest wind at 6, that dew point up to 30. A lot of moisture in the air. That will be the fuel for heavy snow tomorrow. We do have winter weather advisories in effect for our eastern counties, winter storm warnings in effect for our western counties. Don't get too caught up in what type of alert you are in. Just know the impacts are pretty much the same area-wide. By late afternoon and through the evening, travel will become very hazardous due to heavy snow as well as blowing and drifting snow. Right now, again, things are quiet across the state of Iowa. Clouds on the increase, a sign of more moisture on the way. Our winter storm right now fully developed. Right now across North Dakota, this will make a beeline toward the state of Iowa throughout the night, with snow moving in around 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. In terms of the confidence, we continue to roll with moderate to high confidence with this system. There will be a large gradient of snowfall from east to west, lesser totals along the Mississippi River, with heavier totals off in our western counties, including Tama and Grundy County. This will be a high impact of the evening commute. The timing of the snow is very, very unfortunate. We're likely going to be dealing with snow-covered roads and low visibility just in time for the commute. And then additionally, even after the snow moves out, we still will be dealing with blowing and drifting snow well into the night into very early Saturday morning. In terms of your commute forecast, by early tomorrow morning, cloudy, dry, and cool. No issues. Around noon, that's when the roads will likely start becoming slick. There will be blowing snow ongoing. In the evening commute is when we will really start feeling the effects of this storm. Snow-covered roads are pretty much all but certain. Blowing snow will continue as well, leading to, again, blowing and drifting snow with reduced visibility. We'll top it off for you with our predictor. Cloudy skies throughout the night tonight. We'll stop it here at 7 a.m. Notice some snow trying to make its way towards eastern Iowa. Dry air with this east wind will eat away at this first batch of snow. Between about 9 a.m. and noon, that's when the snow, I think, really begins to move towards eastern Iowa. We'll stop it at 2 o'clock. Notice moderate to heavy snow falling here in eastern Iowa. That will continue through the heart of the evening commute. But notice just across and along the Mississippi River, that is where that line of snow pretty much ends. Dry air will be a problem off to our east. By 10 o'clock tomorrow night, notice snow is still ongoing. This is a long duration winter storm that we will be dealing with tomorrow. And then finally, around midnight to 3 a.m., that's when snow finally begins to pull out of our area. In terms of the snowfall forecast, here where we are, Waterloo at 5 to 8, as well as Tama down to Vinton as well, down to Sigourney as well. Cedar Rapids, Iowa City now in that 5 to 8 inch range. We got 3 to 6 inches for Decorah over towards Fayette, down to Monticello and Tipton. 1 to 3 inches right along the Mississippi River. Again, lesser totals the closer you get to the river valley. The other issue on top of the snow tomorrow will be the wind. Throughout the late afternoon and evening, notice the wind gusts really ramp up 25 to 35 miles per hour. That will lead to blowing and drifting snow. Early on, the snow will be wetter and heavier, but by the later part of the night, the snow is lighter and fluffier. That will fly around in the wind. Also notice the wind crossing right over Highway 20, Highway 30, I-80. That will lead to enhanced low visibility and drifting snow over those roadways. After snow, it just gets cold. 19 for a high on Saturday, or 2 below zero by Sunday morning. A little bit of a warm up by early next week.